All right, so welcome back, everybody. We always like to dive into some pretty interesting stuff here.
Oh, yeah.
And today we're going to be tackling something that we found pretty fascinating. We came across this Facebook group called Grace Has Arms. Have you heard of this?
I have seen that name floating around, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
So in this group, there's this guy, Gary Matthews,
Okay.
and he's kind of looking at this idea of Christ-likeness, which, on the surface might sound kind of familiar.
Right, sure.
But he's doing some pretty interesting stuff with it. He's actually taking these verses from the Bible and he's replacing the word Christ with Christ-likeness.
That's interesting. That is a very simple change.
Right. It's like just one word.
And I'm guessing it makes a big difference in how you read those verses.
Exactly. It's like this subtle shift, but it really does change the whole tone and the meaning of these verses.
Mm.
So, for example, Philippians 4.13,
Mm.
that one, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
class.
Right. Well, he changes it to read, I have strength for all things in Christ-likeness, who empowers me. I am self-sufficient in Christ-likeness' sufficiency. So instead of relying on Christ for strength, it's like this Christ-likeness is already inside of you.
Yeah, like it's more about tapping into something that's already there.
Yes. Like a potential or a power that's inherent within us.
And that's different from, the way we usually think about being Christ-like. It's not just about trying to emulate someone. It's about recognizing this quality that we already possess.
Exactly. And, it's not just like a feel-good concept either. He
Yeah.
actually ties this into the idea of the Christ life being a weightless garment.
A weightless garment.
Yeah, and this garment is full of resources like daily bread that we can draw upon when we're facing challenges.
So, like, it's always there, but it doesn't weigh us down.
Right. It's always available, full of potential, never a burden. It's almost like this resource we often forget we have.
Okay, so to recap, you've got this Christ-likeness within, and he's saying that's the Christ life, and it's packed with everything you need, like this metaphorical daily bread.
Exactly. And he's saying that daily bread is what helps us through tough times.
That's pretty interesting. What stands out to you the most about this whole idea?
I think the biggest thing for me is how that one word change, shifting from Christ to Christ-likeness, it really brings the focus inward.
Totally. It's not about striving to be like someone else, but about understanding and accessing this power that's already a part of us.
Yes, and it makes
Oh.
you wonder, if this Christ-likeness is already within us, how does that change how we understand traditional concepts like sin and redemption?
Right. It definitely opens up a whole new way of interpreting these ideas.
Exactly. What do you think for our listeners out there? Does this concept of inherent Christ-likeness resonate with you? Does it offer a new perspective on your own experiences?
I mean, it certainly makes you think, if this Christ-likeness is something we all have appreciating, imagine facing a tough situation, but instead of feeling lost or overwhelmed, you could tap into that daily bread within you.
Right, like it's some kind of superpower.
Totally. How might that change how we approach our daily lives, our relationships, our challenges? It really makes you stop and think.
It's a really powerful idea.
Mhm.
And this Grace Has Arms Facebook group seems like the perfect place to explore these ideas and connect with others who are on a similar journey.
I agree. I mean, it's always great to see communities where people are openly discussing and reflecting on these kinds of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, if you're interested in learning more and maybe joining in on the conversation, this group might be a great place to start.
It's definitely something to consider for anyone looking to dive deeper into these concepts.
For sure. So that wraps up our deep dive for today. Hopefully it's given you some food for thought.
Some daily bread, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe some daily bread for the soul.
Oh.
All right, until next time, keep exploring and keep diving deep.
See.
Bye.